If you're a fan of medieval games, then you probably heard of Mordhau and Chivalry 2. And depending on who you ask, one or the other is better. But the question is, which is better? On one hand, we have Chivalry 2. And on the other, we have Mordhau. Chivalry 2. Mordhau. Look, Mordhau isn't all that bad. I mean, look at this combat.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. I'll stop for now. Chivalry 2 and Mordhau have similar combat systems. I mean, eerily similar, but with good reason. Mordhau was originally made for competitive chivalry fans that wanted a competitive space to play. That also means that the combat system was made for a more competitive playstyle. Mordhau revolves around a parry system, and by parry, I mean that blocks are timed, which makes fights solely focus on taking each other out, which sometimes make it feel like you're having a stroke. Like look at this! Civ 2, on the other hand, has a time block system, which shifts the gameplay towards chambering and morphing moves to get back stamina. This means that you can win fights and ganks more often. It also has a more kinetic style of gameplay with the addition of sprinting, universal dodges, and tackles. And what I mean by universal dodges is that every character has the ability to dodge. While in Mordhau, you have to pick the dodge perk, which is usually only used on lighter builds. Naturally, this playstyle will make it easier for newer and casual players to thrive, while this is more geared towards a smaller and more competitive player base. They both have their differences that make both fun. What the fuck is that? How could I forget about character customization? Now that's Mordhau's bread and butter. While Chivalry 2 has a pretty basic customization system, although cool in its own right, Mordhau's system sets the sky's limit. Look at this, look at that. And the community takes full advantage of this. With the addition of mods, you end up getting concerts in the middle of matches. But in order to have those concerts, they both need maps. And I'll be honest, both have good maps. I've never had a problem with one or the other, but I think Chivalry takes the cake here with more dynamic maps that are rich with lore. I mean, look at these starting spawns.
Adrian Khan stood and bled for us. Now he rests here in peace. The heathen horde is at our holy gates. Protect Phaedron's tomb and the holy city of Galencourt.
Commence the raid of Aberfell! Masons must pay for the desecration of Galencourt! Take the village, conquer the Highlands, and destroy the heretics' ancient stones!
Every match has some kind of lore, some kind of drive to fuel the fights that are within them. And in Civ, you have pages and pages of lore. I mean, look inside the game. You have drop downs of lore. Go to the wiki, you have pages of lore. I mean, it's crazy. Mordhau has lore, but Civ's maps have a specific reason for each army to be fighting in them. What's the need for maps if you don't have game modes to play? And I'll be honest, they are also really similar across the board. So there isn't much to say here, other than that Mordhau does have a PvE mode, if you're into that. All there is left to talk about is the communities themselves, which might sway people from buying one or the other. Chivalry 2 has a more casual community based on its combat style, while Mordhau is a more competitive and more goofy community because of its combat system and character customization. It would be a shame not to mention the modding community. Mordhau's modding community goes crazy. Look at this. It's also important to note that both communities are mixed together most of the time because of how similar they are. I mean, shit, I play both. With that being said, it's finally time to answer the question of which is better. And after all that, I think Chivalry 2 is a better game to start out with if you're new to the genre. Now, if you want to try your hand with a more competitive combat system and community, then Mordhau is better. But I think overall, Chivalry 2 is better. Are you mad with my verdict? Or if I missed something in my analysis, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to have a conversation about it. My name's Tato, and if you're new here, thanks for watching. Stick around. This is just the beginning.